Hello, guys. Right now, we are going to discuss the MCQs of MTP2 for our upcoming May 26 exams. So, here there is a variety of questions from different chapters. So, I always say to the students, MCQs, how many minutes you should allot? Can you please say? 3 hours paper, you should allow only 30 minutes maximum for the MCQs. Right now, our strategy is not to discuss any topics, but like for the exam, real environment, how will you do within 30 minutes maximum? It's like in the exam, we are going to mock. This is called as mock test paper, na? So, yes, start. Life is a race. Run, 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 run. So, you saw in the question paper case scenario. Now, what will you do? Directly go to the question. Okay, leave this. Now, you directly go to the question. Now, can you read first question? In the planning stage described in the case scenario, the engagement partner emphasized understanding regulatory, identifying the significant matter, determining materiality, involvement of experts. Now, when you hear all of this, which essay will come to your mind? Essay. Planning, planning, planning. 300. In 300, there are 5 factors in planning. Do you know what are the 5 factors in planning? 5 factors are first, analytical procedure, understanding, determining materiality, involvement of expert, and other risk assessment procedures. Now, in the context, the primary rationale for such approaches, primary means the main justification is restrict planning to allocation of audit staff. All these factors is only to restrict. See, nature, timing, and extent of resources is done in strategy. The primary use of planning is not this, not to restrict also. Consider regulatory and expert after detection of misstatement. See, planning phasely you will determine um, expert whether needed, legal environment. Then only you will perform. So, no. Ensuring that planning includes are those 5 factors. What? Understanding significant risk, materiality, expert, risk assessment procedure. Seems to be correct. Limit regulatory understanding only to compliance and not financial. So even in financial audit, planning, one of the factors is understanding law. So which is the correct option, guys? Answer is C. Done. It's like in exam. So run, run, run. Second one. In case scenario, the audit team identified revenue recognition, loan provisioning that involves significant judgment susceptible to misstatement even before considering internal control. When you hear these words, susceptible to misstatement before considering internal control, which risk came to your mind or what came to your mind? As per essay 200, audit risk, inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Here, susceptibility before control. Inherent risk due to failure of internal control or detection risk. Detection risk is audit procedure. No, it is not internal control. Here it is inherent risk. This we are solving as if it is an exam. So please do it fast. Answer is B. Third one. Okay. In the case scenario, the audit team identified misstatements but was unable to determine whether it arose due to fraud or error. See, whenever you find out misstatements, you have to evaluate. Which essay came to your mind? You have to evaluate how it will impact essay 450, essay 500 evidence, etc. 330 also it comes, that is for response. Now, he found out misstatements, but he is unable to identify whether it is fraud or error. Auditor must conclusively establish fraud. See, audit is never conclusive, so reading itself rule out. Only misstatement arising from fraud. No. From chapter 1, essay 200, you are saying misstatement can be either due to fraud or error. Misstatement arising from error can be ignored if individually immaterial. You have to consider individual as well as dash. Can you say the other word? Individual as well as. Aggregate you have to find out. So, no. The answer should be D, but read. Auditor should obtain reasonable assurance that financial statement as a whole should be free. Evaluate the impact of in aggregate. So, individually or in aggregate. So, answer is D. So, that's the first case scenario. First answer is C. Next is, that's from essay 300, chapter 2. Next is chapter 3, inherent risk. And last, it's more general, but I'll say chapter 7, evaluation of misstatements. Are you okay with the case scenario 1? If so, can we proceed to case scenario 2? See, this case scenario is like what you call, you saw KOT. So chapter number, fluctuation occupancy level, chapter number 9, different entities. So you just glance, don't read through. Now you can directly go. Actually, it's easy. Considering absence of KOT, unexplained GP fluctuation, weak internal control in restaurant, the most appropriate audit implication is. But if you want, you can go and read this para. See, there is KOT, there is no supporting evidence, kitchen order ticket is not preserved, there is no supporting record, there is weak. Internal control is weak. So they themselves say in the question, what auditor should do? Increase substantive procedure, consider modification. Rely on management explanation. See, we say in essay 580, written representation, you can't believe. Enquiry alone from management and getting is not sufficient. Wrong. Ignore fluctuations. You can't ignore fluctuation. Why? In chapter 9, they say revenue of the hotel may be affected. Revenue. So you can't ignore. Restrict the scope to practical limitations. See, legal and practical limitation is inherent limitation. But here, which is the answer? A or D? Answer is A. Even though this seems to be from chapter 9, I'll say whenever internal control is weak, you have to increase your SAP, which is essay 330. When results of TOC is unsatisfactory, what you have to do? Increase substantive audit procedure. Essay 330. So answer is A. Modification. You will consider whether qualified adverse disclaimer to be given towards the end. So answer is A. Can we go to next? Given the discounted room rates, lack approval and occupancy record were not retained, what is the most critical audit concern? If you want, you read the case study, okay? In case study, they say, see, room rates. Auditor observed discounted room rate without approval. Whenever there should be a concession or discount, it should be approved. There is no approval. What is the most critical audit concern? Can someone say which is the most critical concern? Risk of overstatement of room due to duplicate billing. If there is no approval for discount, revenue leak over. Can you first reply for that? Discount they are giving, but discount is not approved. So revenue less or more. from the hotel point of view. Hi. And if discount is given from hotel point of view, revenue will be leaked. First option they said what? Revenue will be more. Wrong. Leakage of revenue will come. Risk of minor difference. If it is not authorized, it's not minor difference. Misclassification of revenue and other income. Can you say which is the major concern? Bia, Tia, Dia. Which is more of common sense question, guys. Very good. Answer is B. But if it is not approved, revenue will be leaked. Okay. Next one. 6. Where auditor relied on internally generated report, oral explanation due to missing primary, how reliability of evidence is best evaluated? I felt this is a good question. I'll give you 10 seconds time for you to say the answer. You say any answer which you want. A, B, C, D. The auditor is relying on what? Internally generated report they are relying. Oral explanation they are relying. Because main record are missing. How you will evaluate reliability? See, in essay 500, you say reliability of evidence. How you will evaluate? See, copies of summary are equal to original records. No, photocopies are not equivalent to original. False. Internally generated is always reliable. You can't say. External is more reliable. Oral explanation. Inquiry alone is not sufficient. So those three ruled out this. Evidence is less reliable due to weak control. You know what? Internal evidence is more reliable if internal control is strong. Here we have already learned internal control is weak. So internal evidence is less reliable. This comes under essay 500, rules on reliability of evidence. Did you understand? So answer is C. Can I proceed? 7th. Considering the facts of the case, banquet invoices year-end were raised after year-end but included in receivables. Which of the following is the most appropriate audit conclusion? And I have to think as an auditor. Okay. You know what? 31st March, hotel will get some banquet hall booking. Hotel hall booking. What happened is, year end, there were some invoices raised after year end, meaning they should have booked on 31st March, but they booked only on April. Because of this, what is affected? Receivables are understated, revenue understated, misstatement, revenue and receivables are. So sales, hotel sales is misstated. Sales means, can you say which is the correct option? Which before I say? They should have recorded on 31st March, but they recorded only on April. There's a delay. Hall booking is not recorded. Sales is omitted. If sales is omitted, revenue will be affected. Sales entry, debtors account debted to sales. So sales is gone, receivables also gone. Answer is D. Did you understand? See, I felt even though it is hotel, that there is nothing much related to chapter number 9. This is more or less of common sense or essay related. Don't you agree with me? Okay. Okay, fine. I forgot. We are in the exam atmosphere. So come on. Next we'll go. Case 3. Can I get a proceed? Okay. Case study we will read if required in the last. Always better you read the case study. Yeah? Okay. Now, considering the auditor's responsibility in relation to going concern described in the fact, which of the following should be the primary focus? So if you go and see the case study, you saw there is a delayed government payment, etc. Auditor observed that continuous losses for past 2 years. Management prepared the financials on going concern, supported cash flow, expected restructuring based on assumption. So there is an issue of going concern. 570 essay. So what is your primary focus they are asking? Primary. Meaning they are asking your objective of essay 570. To obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence regarding going concern, assess material uncertainty. To conclude existence of loans. To verify management prepared projections. Report only if liquidation is certain. So your primary concern and going concern, essay 570 is to obtain evidence, 3 points, to obtain evidence, material uncertainty, report. So answer is A. Next, in the context, management assertion, no disclosure is required unless insolvency is certain. Which of the approaches should auditor adopt? See, management did not disclose. After you discuss with the management, you raised. So company is unable to continue. There is uncertainty of cash flows. The management strongly asserted financials will be prepared on going concern basis. There is no additional disclosure. Makla valida, invalida? No, you should not. Follow strictly, avoid disclosure. Rely on legal opinion. Management view. What is this? Familiarity threat, intimidation threat. To maintain relationship, you agree with them. Cancel that first. Apply principle based, exercise judgment, consider substance over form. You learn in AS1 substance over form. So even though they are like this, considering substance over form, it has to be done. Going concern, disclosure, etc. So answer is which one? D. Next. Can I proceed? Okay. Considering that this is the first year of audit, prior audit working papers are not available, change in accounting policy, what should be auditor primarily ensure? If you see the question, you saw it is the first year of audit. Which essay came to your mind? It's an initial audit engagement, which is essay 510. 510, what you have to see, your objective is 2 points. Whether opening balance contains misstatement, objective of essay 510. Accounting policies are consistently applied, changes are properly disclosed. So, opening balance need not be verified, you should verify. Only transaction, no. Essay 510 says opening balance. Rely. Essay 580 says don't rely on management representation alone, corroborative only. So obtain evidence and accounting policy. So answer is C, essay 510. Can I proceed to 11th? Hello. Given the presence of optimistic management, high inherent risk, How auditors should approach risk assessment. When you hear about risk assessment, essay please. 315. So they said risk assessment only on quantifiable metrics. Good, very good. Is it correct or incorrect? If you see, we have discussed in classes, etc. Risk is either expressed in quantitative terms or non-quantitative terms. You remember, risk can be expressed in quantitative or non-quantitative. Better to say it as non-quantitative. They said only quantitative, wrong. Apply professional judgment. Okay. Treat risk assessment as a precise calculation. There is a sentence in chapter 3. Risk assessment is a matter of professional judgment and not precise measurement. You cannot measure precise. That's why it's called as risk. Relies only on management representation. As per SA 580, management representation you can't. So answer is B. SA 315. Are you okay? Sherry. Next. Based on the depreciation issues in the case, which of the following is most appropriate in audit conclusion? Where is depreciation? Here. I'm also reading with you only, da. Depreciation. You saw? Further examination revealed company owns aircraft for leasing which depreciated as a single unit. Residual value has not been deducted. Additionally, method of depreciation was changed without disclosure. Wrong, right? Lot of issues are there. Residual value change, they did not disclose. Multiple issues exist, ignoring residual and disclosure. Only method is the issue. Depreciation is acceptable. Depreciation error are immaterial. See, two things they did not do. One, change in method they did not disclose. Second, residual value. Both. Answer is A. So that completes the third case scenario. So rest three questions are individual MCQ. Can we finish off that also quickly? So yes. Yeah. GHI Limited is engaged in investment manufacturing activities during the year performed. Inspection procedures are following. Examined the share certificate, inspected executive sales, physically verified, reviewed internally generated invoice. Based on above, which of the following is most appropriate conclusion regarding inspection? Can you say the answer? They have given a lot of procedures which auditor had done. So which of the following is the most appropriate? They are asking for the inspection. Inspection of share certificate conclusively establishes existence, ownership, valuation. And if you inspect, whether it is our name or your name, it will establish which assertion? It will establish only ownership. So first answer is wrong. Inspection of executed contracts provides sufficient and appropriate evidence regarding revenue recognition without further procedure. See, executed contract will give you the value, etc. But still, you need further evidence, right? Wrong. Can you say C or D or more correct? 5 seconds time. Correct. Correct. You say C or D or. Physical inspection of plant and machinery provides evidence about existence, but additional procedures is required for ownership and valuation. When you physically verify existence is there, but still for valuation you have to check. For valuation, you have to check AS 10 PPE. For ownership, you have to check the invoice, etc. That seems to be correct. Inspection of internally generated invoice is more reliable. Wrong. As per SA 500, external is more reliable. So answer is C. Next. What is this? Okay, read. PQR is a manufacturing entity. During the audit, auditor evaluated internal control for safeguarding the assets. He noticed following controls. Which of the following is most appropriate, relevant to auditor's consideration? In chapter number 3, we say, are all internal control relevant for the audit? Just say yes or no. Are all controls relevant to audit? No. Auditor is concerned with IFC, internal financial control, or control that affects financial reporting, audit, or controls that affects FS. There are certain controls which are not relevant to the audit. Here they are asking which of the controls are relevant to the audit out of these 4. Can you say relevant or irrelevant? You can type. Password protected access to systems handling cash disbursement. Relevant or irrelevant? Cash is something which affects the financial, so it is relevant. CCTV. See, CCTV surveillance for theft of inventory. See, here whether CCTV is there. Will you go and see? Fraud detection is not our primary objective, guys. So this is irrelevant. If you have to see all these, what all you will see in audit? Controls for seeing excessive consumption. See, basically, we are only to see the FS historical financial. Whether they have consumed excess raw material, that's management's role, not auditor. Irrelevant. You 1 minute. Okay. Maker checker authorization for bank payment. There should be segregation of duty. Internal control, entities control activities in that segregation of duty. That is relevant. So which is relevant? 1 and 4. So which is the option, guys? 1 and 4. Option B. Again, this is a common sense. More. Wow. We are going to wind up. That's it. Last question. STU Limited is a listed company issuing sweat equity shares. Sweat equity shares. You forgot section 54? While verifying the compliance, the auditor noted the following. Issue was approved by ordinary resolution passed at the meeting. And for sweat equity shares, you need special ordinary resolution. You guys are expert in law. For issuing the sweat equity shares, you need special. Resolution mentioned the number of shares but did not mention the price. It should mention the number of shares, etc. Shares belong to new type of class. We learned sweat equity shares should belong to the type of shares which has been already issued. Company complied with the SEBI disclosure. Okay. Which of the following is most appropriate as per section 54? They themselves said section 54. Issue is valid. See, SEBI, they have valid, but there are some issues like non-disclosure, special resolution is not passed, new class of shares. So, no. Issue is partly valid, only disclosures. No. No. Valid as long as employees. See, special resolution was not there, disclosure was not there. So answer is D. So that's it, guys. I think almost half an hour or so approximate we have completed. So in between we have been discussing some other points. So that's it, guys. So in the exam, keep a timer, maximum 30 minutes for the MCQs. Okay. So when you practice also, I always feel you should practice keeping a timer. If you practice simply, you may feel very easy, but for the exam, it may not be useful. So that's it, guys. Let me know how the session was. And yeah, keep going. Last 1 month, very, 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 very crucial. Give your best. You might have been studying for the last 4 months, 5 months, 1 year, whatever it is. But last 1 month is very crucial. So give your best, leave the rest. All will be fine. So if you need any other support, you can message me. I'm happy to help you.